excited.
Yeah, we can just keep it at the table.
Oh.
All right. Well, as we get situated here, welcome you guys to the Whiskey Weigh-In. I'm breaking the rules tonight and drinking a Monster. That's orange, recommended by one of my good friends. Apparently, it kind of tastes like orange juice. They're not a sponsor yet, but maybe one day they'll sponsor a whiskey podcast.
Nope.
So what are you drinking, Shay?
We got the Bird Dog Peach. Still have it left over. I hammered the strawberry for UFC 251 the other night.
Yeah.
I got off work.
Did you finish it?
Oh man, I hammered it. It was bad. Devin bought the fights for me, and it's like as soon as I got home from work, I get home about 12:10 a.m.
Yeah.
And so fights had already, they were almost done at that point. I think it was on the Aldo fight. They were going into the Max fight, is what it was. And man, I was so excited to be home to have the fights. I tore into that strawberry bird dog. I just tore. And Devin, the next morning, she told me, she's like, I knew you were drinking too fast when the first fight ended and you were on like your third glass. And I was like, yeah, we kind of went a little too hard with that one. So I'm taking it easy tonight.
I feel like I remember it being halfway full at least.
I think I probably dug into the peach at some point too. I don't know. I know that I dug into the strawberry hard.
Yeah.
I think it might be done.
40% alcohol.
Yeah, it's all right. So, it's fine. Is there anything you want to cheers?
Yeah, I'll cheers to one of my good buddies, Jacob's getting married, and we just had a bachelor party this past weekend.
Okay.
It was pretty much focused on guns, axes, and whiskey. So we went to the gun range, had a good time, went axe throwing for a little bit. There's a new place in the local mall.
I saw that. I went there.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Okay. Did you like it there?
I like it.
Better than the place we went?
The other place is a little better at maintaining the boards. Like the maintenance and the quality of the equipment and stuff is a little better at the other place. But this place in the mall, the aesthetics, the black lights, like it looks way cooler. The seating's way better. The ambiance, the atmosphere is way better. So if you're ever in Morgantown, you want to go axe throwing, you got two options, and they're both pretty good for different reasons.
Yeah.
But anyways, yes, we're gonna cheers with my Monster and Shay's whiskey to my buddy getting married, to us surviving that weekend of 3 days in a row of scotch and whiskey, way too much. That's part of the reason why I'm drinking this and not that, even though this is probably even worse for me.
It probably is. I would almost guarantee that is. This has been proven to prevent cancer or something.
Really?
And I don't know. Oh, I don't know. People always say some weird stuff like that.
You sound like me whenever I try to defend coffee. I always just say, it's the antioxidants. That's why I have 6 cups a day.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you want to get You want to get into the UFC 251?
Yeah. So hey, I'll be up front. I didn't get to watch the fights. We were busy with other stuff, and
don't worry. I got y'all, and I got a lot to say tonight.
All right, well, let's start out with the first fight on the main card, or do you want to go straight to the main event?
Yeah, let's go to the main event. Let's go to the main event.
So Kamaru Usman and Jorge Masvidal. Masvidal lost. He said he lost 20 pounds, and he took the fight 6 days ahead of time. Mm-hmm. So definitely not an optimal Masvidal coming into the fight.
Right. So Masvidal, I think you could tell early he looked solid, and you could tell he wasn't necessarily afraid to be taken down. Like he was putting himself in some tough situations at times. I think you could tell like he was ready for the moment.
Yeah.
And then after the first round, that went away. Usman is just stronger, held him against the cage, did some tap dancing on his feet. And that's pretty much just how it went the whole time. The thing that I took away from that fight that I was most impressed with is Masvidal's takedown defense. His takedown defense was really good. Usman still got takedowns. Don't get me wrong on that. Mm-hmm. But to show how high level Masvidal was with his takedown defense, like Usman bullied Woodley to the ground. Mm-hmm. Bullied Woodley to the ground.
Very
easily. Easily. It was like throwing me in there against Usman. That's what it was. Masvidal, he struggled against Masvidal, and I think you could tell early he was trying to get those takedowns and it wasn't working, and he switched the game plan up and just got him in the clinch and would put him up against the cage. Smart. He's so smart with what it is. And, honestly, at 170, I don't see anyone really being able to beat him.
Yeah, that was my thought immediately after. Obviously, I didn't watch the fight, but I looked at the highlights and read the results right after everything happened the next day. And one of the things that we kind of expected going in was we saw some of Jorge's takedown defense in previous fights. And so we knew that would be there, but we didn't really see him not being able to control the fight on his feet with stand-up grappling and being up against the fence and things like that.
Yeah, I really didn't even take that into consideration, which, that's kind of dumb on my part. But then again, it's just like, I thought Usman would probably be able to take him down a little bit easier than what, he had success doing. Like I said, he still got him down a few times. And let me tell you where Masvidal messed up. Let me tell you where he messed up, and this was after the fight.
Oh.
Masvidal has done pretty much everything in the media perfectly. To a T, perfect, with literally everything he's done in this past year.
It's a huge draw now.
He missed the boat on this one. If I was him, I would have been like, I had 6 days notice. If I have a full camp, I beat this clown. I would have went that direction with it. I would have went that direction with it because, I'm not saying that's a good excuse, but at least you get another chance. You see what Usman's plan A and plan B was. Prepare for that. There you go.
Yeah.
I think he really missed the boat on instead of he's out there talking like, oh, I want to fight somebody and earn my way back. No, just take that shot again. I'm sure they would book if he really wanted that, they'd probably book it again.
Yeah, so I don't know if he gets the rematch right away, and maybe that's partly because of the way he responded. But I do and I'm a big fan of him playing the humble card and saying it was a good fight. He dominated me. He beat me in these ways.
That. I'm saying I respect that, and I think that's the right man thing to do.
Right.
But that hasn't been his character.
Right.
That hasn't been his character. But
he also he's not someone who makes excuses and acts like Colby either,
Well, speaking of Colby, since Masvidal missed the boat on that, I want to see Masvidal Colby. That's
even
the fight I want to see.
Colby's coming off a loss.
Against Usman? And who's Masvidal coming off a loss to?
Yeah.
Usman.
Yeah, I guess it makes
sense.
Then
you get the winner of that, then they'll fight for the belt after Usman Burns.
What if Colby marketed himself into fighting for the BMF belt?
I forget who said it, but there's just certain people that can be the BMF, and there's certain people that cannot.
Yeah.
Colby, he can't be.
I feel like if he got it, people would be so upset. He could be a
true.
really good heel. He could probably get that belt just because he's a good heel, and everyone would want to watch him get beat.
That's true.
That's the only reason he could get that belt.
Yeah, and if I'm Masvidal, I'm not. If you're looking for money, then you go for the Nate fight.
Yeah.
If you really want to get back into title contention, and you've already said you want to fight again before you fight Usman, dumb mistake. Colby, that's literally the fight. Mm-hmm. That's the fight to make. So I think that's, or I guess you could go Leon, but I don't think that's as big of a draw as Colby versus Masvidal because those two used to be training partners. Masvidal said Colby used to sleep, on his couch.
There's a lot of material there.
There's a lot, and I think that's the way to go. And what people aren't talking about, people's really missed the boat with this one as well. People are talking about, oh, look how great Masvidal, he lasted all 5 rounds, and look at Colby, he got his jaw broke. Okay, let's look past that. A ref or a judge had it 3-1 Colby going into the 5th round against Usman. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about how good Colby is. And another judge had it 2-2 going into the 5th round. Let's not forget how great Colby was doing against Usman. Mm-hmm. He was holding his own.
Yeah.
I think people are really missing that.
Yeah.
They're not understanding. All they're taking away is Colby got his jaw broken. Masvidal lasted all 5 rounds. Colby got finished with under a minute to go in the 5th. Like, let's stop that narrative. Let's stop that narrative. And I know it sounds like I'm a huge Colby fan, which I'm not.
That's what I was about to say.
I'm not a huge Colby fan. Don't get it wrong. But I think
it's an objective take on it.
I think everyone hates Colby so much that that's the way they're looking at it. Like, oh, he got TKO'd. Masvidal had 6 days. Look at him. No. Let's put Masvidal and Colby in there together.
I think that would be one hell of a fight.
And I think that's the way they need to go.
Yeah.
And like I said, props to Usman. I saw a thing. He's beat 6 out of the top 10 fighters in 170. I mean, I don't see anybody that can beat this guy. People are saying Burns. I don't see Burns being able to. I don't see Burns being able to do anything against Usman. If Usman fights smart every time like he did against Woodley and Masvidal, no one's taking him out.
Yeah. Usman just looks like he's 200 pounds against those guys. He's
Usman's
so much bigger than all of those guys.
He is a freak
It's going to turn into the light heavyweight division where Usman's like Jones on top, and nobody's really.
I think I could agree with
compete.
that, and I think he's charting.
And 170 used to be. I mean, it still is crazy. The competition.
No, the competition
fighters,
is stacked. It is stacked.
But with someone that dominant on top, crazy. But I would like to see. I agree. I'd like to see Masvidal fight Colby. But then I would also like to see Masvidal be fully trained, have a training camp that's geared to going against Usman, and to see how strong he can get, because
he did get fatigued. He did, and you could tell. But I mean, I'm not saying that wouldn't happen with a full camp, because I mean that Usman style, you're going to get tired with somebody pressed up against you the whole fight. It doesn't matter if you have a 12 weeks, 8 weeks, 6 days. It doesn't matter. You're going to be tired if you're not getting them off of you. And,
right.
I mean, that's what's going to happen.
But the best thing that I liked, the thing that I liked seeing the most after that fight was Masvidal in his interview was saying, "Hey, I took this loss, blah blah blah." He took the humble approach there.
Yeah.
But what I was wondering is this guy going to be defeated? Is he going to kind of taper off? And not be the big name that he is anymore, because somebody beat him and they beat him very well,
easily.
But in the interview, he looked still hungry, and you could still see it in his eyes, and that made me really excited. He wants to come back and fight him. He wasn't just giving up, and so
he even told the reporters, like, "Sorry, I'm struggling to think of answers right now because I'm running back the fight in my head, what I could have done differently." Better or worse, what I was doing wrong.
Right.
And he's like, I just want to go sprint right now. And I was like, I respect that. But like I said, I think he missed the boat with the character. And that's the thing with Masvidal. I guess that's the one thing.
He's been consistent with himself, though, which is really important.
That's what I was going to say. Is I guess it's different with Masvidal because his really isn't a character.
Yeah.
I think it's him. It's not like it's
people
Cejudo.
Still like him more than they like Usman after this fight.
I mean,
which is
Masvidal is probably the most well-known name in the game right now. I mean, besides Conor, and then I guess probably besides Nate, and then maybe Khabib. He's probably. I mean, he's probably 4. He's probably above John Jones or right there with John Jones, 4 or 5.
Right.
I mean, so it is what it is, and like I said, he did some things right, did some things wrong, and I could be wrong because the character thing, like I said, that's just him. It's not a character. It is him. It's him. Right. So, you know what? I'll take that back. You know what? Like I said, I still think he missed the boat with it. But let's...
Yeah. There's an argument there, but...
you want to move to the next one?
Yeah, let's go to the co-main. Let's go to the co-main event.
This is where I'm fired up. I'm fired up about this one. Because Max Holloway won that fight. Yeah. He won the fight.
Yeah, everybody thinks that.
Everybody thinks it, including me. And those judges, man. Them judges are sneaky.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
This one's so bad that Dana came out and said the same thing.
Publicly shamed them.
Yeah.
Publicly shamed them.
Said that they need to do better.
And I mean, so here's the thing. I'm not going to say it was a complete robbery. I had Holloway winning. I'm also biased. But when you see everybody else in the world saying Holloway won, they had Holloway winning 3-2, I understand. Well, maybe that's not my bias. That's how I saw it, and I'm right. just like everybody else except those 2 stupid judges that didn't score it for him.
Right. Yeah.
I'm fired up about that because I love Max. He's such a great fighter, and this looks bad on his resume to have 3 straight losses. One where he moved up to 155 to fight Poirier, which Poirier looked like he was 30 pounds bigger than him. And then you have these back-to-back losses where I agree Max lost the first fight. You have some people that say he didn't, but I say he lost the first fight. This second fight, he did not lose. And what I took away the most from this fight is Volkanovski would throw a leg kick, Max would fire one right back. Every time Volkanovski throw one, Max throw one right back.
Point for point, yeah.
Point for point. And Max was winning the stand-up game the whole time. I mean, oh, man. Those first 3 rounds, Max won. You can't convince me. There's literally nothing you can tell me that Volkanovski won that 3rd round.
So
1 and 2 is 100% no one can argue. Max won. That 3rd round's close. Max won it, though. Max won it. And then 4 and 5, he lost, but Max won round 3.
Yeah. So who does Max fight next?
I don't know. I don't know what you can do from here because, like...
Who does Volkanovski...
So that's the thing is UFC, like, never, ever, ever does, like, a 3rd fight if it's 2-0. If it's 2-0 for whoever and then 0-2 for the other guy. They don't do that. But where Dana was mad about this, technically it should be 1-1. So do they run it back again? That's a tough sell.
It's a business, though. I mean, as long as the competition can be justified,
it's definitely justified. And they're definitely the 2 best 145ers because you haven't heard from Brian Ortega since he got his ass whooped by Max Holloway. I don't even know if he's still on this planet. He might have went to Mars or an alternate reality. I don't know if he's still here or not. You have Zombie. I would rather see those 2 go at it again because I think those 2 are clear-cut head and shoulders above everybody else at 145. I do. I think it's just clear cut. I don't know. I like I said, I was really upset with this because I was sitting there watching, and as soon as I went to the judges though, I was like, Max won. Max won. I was like, we got the belt back, baby. We got the belt back. Bring out Lil Blessed, his little son. He's adorable. And nope. Freaking judges, man.
Yeah, I think everybody's in agreement there. Who's next?
I don't even want to... No, Aldo.
Aldo, yeah. Skip them.
Aldo and Peter Yan. Let me tell you about this one. Dana White, once again, publicly called out the ref in this one. And the ref did a bad job, which this one I have a tough time with. I agree and I disagree. It's tough because he was mad about the stoppage. He said he let it go on too long. Jan was absolutely wrecking Aldo on the ground. He was. And then you could tell every time the ref would step in to call it, Aldo would push him away, kick him away, completely move to a different position. And you're you can't stop it. But then again, I mean, Peter Yan was destroying him on the ground. But like I said, it's a tough situation in my perspective of this, of never fighting. but
yeah, we can remind you guys we don't have any experience.
Yeah, but like I said, he was moving and getting into different positions. It's tough. That's tough to me. And I understand why the ref let it go, but I would have been 100% more than okay with him stopping it earlier than what he did. Aldo looked good early. He really did. I was sitting on my couch screaming, keep throwing the leg kicks, keep throwing the leg kicks. He looked really good throwing the leg kicks. And he almost knocked Yan down a couple times with them. And he stopped going to it. And it pissed me off because Aldo is one of the best kickers in the game. He just is, and he always has been. And he was doing really well with it, and he just stopped going to the well. It's like somebody told him it's not working. You were wrong. It was working. There was a lot I was getting fired up over this weekend.
Yeah, you're very upset about some of these fights.
I was fired up, man. I've been fired up over it. Because although it sucks because he's kind of went on a skid but he's fighting literally the best people in the world. He fought Holloway twice, lost both times. Got knocked out both times. You just fought Marlon and you lost to Marlon, which you can make an argument he gets the next title shot at 135, which I don't agree with. I think it'll be Aljamain Sterling. Mark that one. Book that one. Remember I said that. I think it's Aljo. You know what? I'm off Aldo. Let's just go to the next one because this next one was the best fight on the card. My girl Rose. Thug Rose! As DC would say. She scared me to death in this one. Yeah. She scared me to death. And I
tore up a little bit.
And I'm telling y'all, if some of you didn't watch any of this card, if you can go back and watch that fight, that's the one I recommend. If you could only watch one fight from this card, that's the one. Rose and Andrade, it was amazing. I loved it. I loved every second of it. Rose won rounds 1 and 2 pretty easy. I think you could have made a case that it could have been 1-1, but I scored it 2-0. Once again, I know I have some bias there. I love me some Thug Rose, but I had it 2-0 going into round 3. But then Thug Rose got destroyed round 3, and I was scared. Yeah. I was scared because I think if it was 2 more minutes left in that fight,
she'd be knocked out.
She was out. Yeah. She was done. And it scares me going forward if she gets the title shot against Wei Li, because I don't know if she can eat those shots. Yeah. I don't know if she can eat those shots from her. She's a lot stronger. But
that's the next step for her?
Oh, yeah, it's the title shot. Yeah. It's the title shot. She gets it. If she doesn't get the title shot, I don't know what Dana's doing. I mean, I would say that's wrong. Right. She has to get the title shot here. Yeah. And like I said, I didn't see anyone disagreeing that like that was scored wrong or anything. I think everyone was set that the first 2 rounds was Rose. But, like she's lucky that wasn't for a belt, because if that was championship rounds or a main event, yeah, she was going to lose 3, 4, and 5. Mm-hmm. Andrade came on heavy in round 3 and looked damn good. She looked damn good in round 3. I was impressed. Mm-hmm. And then, sadly, last but least, Paige Van Zandt.
Last and least.
Yep.
Huh? Off to Bellator.
Off. Bye-bye. It was bad. It was embarrassing. One of my buddies texted me.
How quick was it?
What was it? It was 2 or 3 minutes. One of my buddies texted me or called me after the fight.
Tell people who she was fighting.
Oh, Amanda Rebus. Yeah. Hebes. I heard him say that too. It was something. I was like, well, I don't know which
Everybody has their own take on how to pronounce it.
I'm going to have to hear her say it. So, Amanda, if you're watching this, please let me know.
Most likely she's watching us.
Paige, I got a call from my buddy after the fights, and he told me, he's like, she didn't even look like she wanted to be there walking out. And I was like, I don't even disagree with you. I mean, she did not look like she wanted to be there. She got hit a couple times, started bleeding, and then got put in an armbar. And I was like, oh, boy. And you know what's crazy? Is I don't really like to gamble, but I always like to look on FanDuel at the odds and stuff. That was the number that they had which fight would end the quickest. And that was the number 1 pick.
Really?
Oh, yeah. So they were right on that one.
Wow.
Because, Paige sucked. I'm so disappointed in her. Yeah. I really am. And I don't, and that's the thing. Like we said last week, that kills your free agency. I mean, they asked Dana about that in the press conference, and he's like, yeah, I think she should test free agency. Just came out and was straightforward, quick to it. And I was like, didn't even hesitate. And I was like, yikes, she's gone. That was her last fight in UFC, and it was terrible. Oh, man. Absolutely terrible. Yeah. Off to Bellator, or I think she just keeps doing ads on Instagram. Pick one.
Sad ending for her career in the UFC, but still bright future for her as an individual.
As an entrepreneur. Yeah. If you will.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was bad. But Amanda, not to take anything away from Amanda, because she looked great. She did exactly what she had to do, and her stand-up was great, and then her ground game was great. She might be a force to be reckoned with. She's not going to touch my girl Valentina. I can tell you that right now. But I think you definitely set her up with a decent fight in this next one. man, if she wins her next fight, she probably gets the title shot. If she wins her next fight. That's probably my prediction with her. If she can win her next fight, whoever it is, you probably have to give her the title shot because Valentina's she's wiping everybody out of that division.
Yeah, a lot of dominant fighters in UFC 251.
Yeah,
people coming through, people getting robbed. No, you said you didn't want to call it a robbery, but I'd say at this point everybody's pretty much.
Everyone has said Holloway won, but it's not to the point of like you're like, oh, that's highway robbery.
Right.
It's really. I think that third round was so close, but it's just that everyone scored it for Max. It's not like you have people coming out. Max lost that round 3.
Right.
Like that's not really what you. I don't. So don't get me started on that again. Don't get me started on it again.
What else is going on?
Other than me being pissed off.
You got to work 8 days straight?
Not yet, but I will.
Yeah.
I will.
So when's our next podcast?
Sunday or Monday.
Okay.
We'll do that. And you know what? We could have a special guest. And I hadn't even told you.
Oh, yeah.
So this might just be a surprise to everybody.
All right. Let's do it live.
Just bring him over to surprise you.
No, who is it?
I think Mark is coming in.
Oh, yeah.
From Kansas.
Great.
I think he's fine. And he said that he's in Morgantown like this upcoming Saturday to like Monday. And I was like, oh, wow, that worked out. My day's off, Sunday, Monday.
Perfect.
So, I mean, I haven't asked him. I haven't told him. Didn't ask you. Didn't run it by you. But I just figured, that could be, it's an idea.
No, yeah, that's what we want to do. That's what we want to do. That'd be great. We got more stools like this, and we can adjust the mic settings and pick us up or just add another mic. Yeah, it'd be easy. It'd be good. I'd like to hear from him. Let's get his take.
We can get his take on UFC 251 because he bought it on Saturday and was watching it.
Yeah, maybe we'll touch on it a little bit. I don't want to get you fired up again.
And you will. You will.
Cool. So, yeah, we'll look forward to that next week. Man, what else is going on? It's kind of pretty typical week for me in work and nothing crazy. Got some weddings coming up. The coronavirus is really messing everything up, man. It's been tough. I know a lot of people that have been affected by it. And so if you guys are out there and you're being affected by it, hopefully we can offer you some kind of entertainment while you're held up in bed or trying to recover. And like I said before, we'd love to hear from you all. Please reach out to us. Let us know your opinions. And if you want to challenge us, we'll bring you right on the podcast. Let us know.
And if any of y'all are mad at UFC 251 like me, please let me know. If you're happy and you think that it's funny seeing me mad, let me know because I'll surely argue you in the comments. It don't bother me one bit.
Yeah, this guy's starting to sound like Skip Bayless.
Shea Bayless.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. You guys take care. Are you all good?
I'm all good, man.
All right.
Cheers
take
to
care.
next weekend.
Yeah. Down the monster.